Sony Studios in Los Angeles, California, it's Donny and Marie. Today, rock and roll legend Little Richard, host of America's Funniest Home Videos, John Fugelsang, television actor Brad Whitford, and author-director Clive Barker. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Donny and Marie.
It's nice to have you with us. You know, there was a story not too long ago about this lady who walks into a McDonald's. Mm-hmm. She orders a cup of coffee and she spills it on her and she sues McDonald's. Y'all remember the story?
Remember that? Well, she won the case.
Yeah.
And a lot of money.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Now, when you go to McDonald's, get a cup of McDonald's coffee, it comes with a side of warnings. You get all these warning labels all over it.
And because of that, because of this lawsuit that happened there, other companies have started putting warning labels on their products to protect themselves from lawsuits.
That's right. Things we use every day now warn us of the possible dangers of using it.
Right.
And we just happen to have some of those products. You see this? Just a normal remote control, right? Almost every home has one of these. But if you study a little bit closer, look at the back of it, there is a little warning label back there.
We just added this,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. This is what it says. Warning. Removing this device from husband's hand may cause sudden and unexplained irritation and marital difficulties.
Okay, I wear glasses.
You can put them on, it's okay.
Okay. All right. This right here, this is an ordinary dictionary. Anybody has one in their house, but there comes a warning with a dictionary. Is this bizarre? It says, reading this book may make you realize that you're an idiot.
Boxer shorts, okay? Read the label in there. That's what it says. This undergarment, if combined with dark socks, may cause premature graying and uncontrollable flatulence. That's what it says.
Mountain stream bottled water. Now, why would you need a warning on that? We all drink it.
Right.
Right? It says here. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Although this product has been filtered with the utmost care, we cannot guarantee that certain wildlife did not tinkle in your water. Thank you.
Okay, houseplant. A regular houseplant. This is what the warning says on a houseplant. For maximum growth results, do not leave plant in care of a man.
I like that one.
What it says.
Come here, baby.
Yeah.
Work with me. Okay, this one right here, this is a cookie sheet.
Right.
Are you right? All right, ready for this? It says, warning, placing foods in this cooking device does not guarantee that the woman you married will suddenly become Martha Stewart. So there.
Oh, read this one.
Go ahead, you read it.
No, read it. Yeah.
Want me to read it?
You read it.
All right, this is a shower head. Yeah. Okay, you all seen these? It says, warning, singing in the shower may cause you to temporarily believe that you are a better singer than you actually are.
And finally,
Funny.
a cigar. Are you ready?
Did you ever think you'd see this picture, Donny? Go
Okay.
for it.
Are you ready for this? This product should be used in accordance with its original purpose only. Just read it, folks.
All right. Our first guest should have his own label. Donny, get over it.
I thought it was fun. Donny.
It should have his own. It should. Our next guest is truly
Gotta
fantastic.
have his own warning
That's
label.
right. It should read, "Warning: High voltage." Would you please welcome Little Richard? Have a seat. I'm serious. High voltage is you.
Oh, boy.
Where do you get all your energy?
Man, lately I've been wondering who's been loaning it to me. You know, I'll be 66 this year, and it's been really, it's just, I tour constantly. I was just telling someone I was talking over there, we just played Dallas, Texas. We had 85,000 people. Wow. And I just played Atlanta, Georgia. We had over 55,000 at the Georgia Dome. And it just, because, you know, I've done the country, I think I saw you one time I did the country award show in Nashville. Mm-hmm. We draw country music lovers as well as rock and roll. You know, we don't draw as many of the soul lovers, you know, in the rhythm and blues as we do rock and roll and country music.
You know what? I think when people come to your show, it's a party. I mean, how many people, you know, has been in the business as long as you have, can draw 85,000 people? But it's a party.
I was shocked when I got there and the guy told me that he had sold. I screamed like a white lady.
I would like to see that. Could you do that?
And a white lady said, "Woo!" A black lady said, "Woo!"
Okay, here's a question for you. Womp papa loop papa womp bamboo. Where did that come from?
You know, Donny, I was washing dishes at the Greyhound bus station in Macon, Georgia. That's where I'm from. And my family is very religious people. You know, my people, they don't believe in drinking Coca-Colas, Pepsi-Colas. My people, no coffee.
Are you Mormon?
And they're real strict. And so what's coming up, I had this job washing these dishes. I was making $10 a week. And it was very hard for me because my mother had 12 children. And my dad, 12 children. And it was, we had only 2 rooms. And we slept everywhere. You know, everywhere you looked, you saw a body, you know.
In the bathtub, in the drawer.
Wasn't no bathtub, honey. In fact, any tub you saw was bathtub. In fact, they was calling some of us tub. Yeah, it was really something. So washing dishes at this place. So one day I went in, and I was afraid of the owner of the place. I was really scared of him. He was a big fat guy, and he had a big cigar, and I was scared of him. And I was scared. I was really afraid I was going to lose my job, you know, because I needed to help feed my brothers and sisters.
Sure, absolutely.
So I went in that day, and so I had been singing this song, playing on the piano at my grandfather's house, wop, babaloo, babalop, bam, boom. I didn't know what it meant, but I said, well, when he makes me mad, I'm going to say, wop, babaloo, babalop, bam, boom. So he came down, wash these pots. And this pot, all these beans had stuck to the pot, Donny, this rice, this beef stew done stuck. And a beautiful man like me washing this big old pot. This pot, and I'm pushing my hand down in this pot, trying to get this stuff out, and wasn't nothing moving out of the pot. And so he came back, he says, I need the pot in 1 minute. I said, oh my God. And I said, Lord, have mercy. And I looked down at the pot, I said, ooh-wee. And so what I did, I reached my hand, I said, wop, babaloo, babalop, bam, boom. He looked. I didn't know what it meant, and he didn't either. But he didn't bother me no more.
We will be right back after this. Stay with us.
Up next, Little Richard sings.
With Little Richard. Yeah. You know, you've recorded so many classics, so many great songs. Is there one song that you love that
Your
you
favorite
recorded?
song.
Your favorite?
I have two favorite. Really my favorite song is Lucille, but Tutti
Oh,
Frutti, I like
Lucille,
Tutti.
yeah.
I like, and good golly, Miss Smiley. I like Tutti Frutti because it took me out of the kitchen, so I love that. It did something for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tutti Frutti is a great
I really
song.
love that. Shut up.
Well, you made that popular.
That's right.
Is there any music that you don't like?
I like some rap music. I like some of it when it's clean and positive. I like it. I like something. I like Will Smith. I like some things about LL Cool J. I like a few things about Queen Latifah. I like some of the rap that was on Michael Jackson's record. But I like it when it tells a story, you know. But when it's not uplifting and not showing people the right direction and the way, and people need that in this generation. They need to see the way.
So in other words, songs that contribute to life.
That's right. That's right. And if it's not that, I don't care. I don't want no problem.
Right.
I'm just trying to think of all the things that people would love to ask you. Do you have a favorite person that you ever performed with? You have, I mean...
Worked with everyone.
Everybody.
The Beatles opened for you.
Well, Jimi Hendrix was my guitar player. He was 17 years old. He had run away from home. The Beatles lived with me. They had never made a record, and they offered me 50% of the group, but the reason I didn't bother, because to me they sound like four Everly Brothers. Mick Jagger was sleeping with me, and he and Keith in my place. He was touring with us. He had beaten the Tamarines and the opening of my show.
Wow. Mick Jagger?
Mick Jagger and Keith. Before, it wasn't nothing but the Rolling Stones, and they wasn't rolling at all then. In fact, it wasn't no stone. Shut up.
Richard, will you do a song for us?
Yes, I would love this.
Which one are you going to do?
Tutti Frutti.
Oh, let's get some people down here.
And I want everybody in the audience to sing with me.
Come on.
I want everybody to say, wop, bop-a-loo, bop. Say, ba-lop, bam, boom. Say, wop, bop-a-loo, bop. Ba-lop, bam, boom. Wop, bop-a-loo, bop, ba-lop, bam, bam. Tutti Frutti. Tutti Frutti. She brought me to the west. She's the girl that I love best. To the fruit, oh fruit, to the fruit, to the fruit, oh fruit, to the fruit, oh fruit. Wop, bop, a loo, bop, a lop, bam, boom.
We'll be right back right after this. Oh, one more. You got another one. He's going to do another one.
Next, America's Funniest Home Video host John Fugelsang tells us why he feels America's pain. And later, Brad Whitford reveals the mysteries behind the secret lives of men.
You got a pair of shoes, you put them in the closet. You got a pair of socks, you got a drawer. You got a pair, you know, what do you do with a pair of those? I'm sorry, I mean,
Welcome back. You are still rocking from Little Richard.
Little Richard
He's coming back later in the show. It's going to be a blast. But our next guest is one of the hosts of America's Funniest Home Videos. I can't talk now. I'm dancing so much. Would you please welcome John Fugelsang?
John?
Oh, I'm great.
I'm great.
It's great to see you all again. Thank you. What a thrill to have to follow Little Richard and watch everybody yawning throughout my entire act. Isn't that great? So what's going to happen? Well, we're going to have Little Richard come out and form the first intergenerational mosh pit. You know, hands across the slam dancing. Half of Branson's going to bum rush the stage. And then we're going to where's Dick? Where's Dick? You're running a madhouse here. Lost all control. It's entropy here. And then I get to follow this and tell my knock-knock jokes. How are you? Shut up! It's like, how do you follow that? I mean, me and Clive Barker are backstage going, woo! Trying to...
Well, you could have shaved for us or something.
Oh, sorry.
You're coming a little scruffy.
I like that.
You like that?
I do like that. It looks great.
Lead press-on scrounge I just got to look at. Actually, this is my... I'm actually called Callback. It's hell. I've been seen for this. I'm up for this show, and I've been auditioned for it for 8 times. They brought me back over and over again.
Show?
So this is a reason.
It's a series that's going to be on next year, hopefully. And I keep going back and back and back again, and they give me the hi-hat, but I keep this going on. So
they give you the hi-hat, meaning you got the gig?
Meaning I didn't get it. No, meaning they keep, you know,
they keep calling him back.
They keep calling me back and back and back again. It's kind of like on prom night once more, you know. Come here, go away. Come here, go away. Come here, go away.
Well, is it something you can talk
Shut up.
Is it something you can talk about, or is just...
No, because then I'll talk about it, and then I won't get it, and I'll be shamed by everybody, and you know.
Okay, we won't talk about
teeming
it.
throngs watching the show.
Yeah,
will mock
you kind
me.
of jinx it. You know,
Plus, I'm here to pimp home videos, so you know, hey.
Hey,
that's right.
Speaking of, you know what? You call your show sadistic?
Well, there have been those who've called it. I think I referred to that once on the air during a particular gruesome scene. You know, it's not so much sadistic as it is people laughing at other people's pain and anguish.
Right,
so
right.
there's a distinction to be made between that.
I mean, when you get right down to it, that's what people are doing.
Yeah, a lot of it. I don't really go for all the violence sometimes. Some of it's funny, some of it doesn't turn me on. But I mean, what I like about the show is that it does have a lot of non-violent stuff, and it's, you know, funny animals and funny kids and funny old people, and it's not just hamsters being crammed into pencil sharpeners and old people falling off cliffs and stuff.
Oh, John.
Is that
Let him have it.
What did I say? I said it's not just. Wow, they're turning against me now. I'll go play the piano.
But it's so popular. Why do you think it is so popular?
You know, I get asked that question all the time because the show's been on since the late 50s, and people always wonder, you know.
What's about 8, 9?
This is the 10th season, actually.
10th season.
It was 10 with Bob Saget, and then twice with myself and Daisy Boom Boom Fuentes. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, people always wonder, and it's not all just violence. I mean, I'm sorry if I offended all of you after your, you know, slam dancing session. I think it crosses boundaries because it appeals to every single denomination in the world. You know, I mean, I know conservative Christians who like it because it proves Darwin was wrong, and I know atheists who like it because it proves there is no God. So whatever you think, you know, you can laugh at it.
Well, actually, we have a clip of the show. We've got to see some of it.
Okay, I'm not sure what it is.
I can totally relate to this whole road rage phenomenon you hear on the news, and I am scared to death. I'll tell you why, because judging from these tapes, the next generation of drivers in this country ain't gonna be much better.
You're never too young to learn. Pedestrians always get the right of way. And the last thing we need on the road is drivers without any depth perception.
Yeah, that was.
That had to hurt.
Yeah.
That'll leave a mark.
Yeah, however, that being said, a bit gruesome, but I must say, the French loved that clip. So, what are you going to do?
So what is the funniest tape that you have ever seen? You've had to see
well, there's
thousands.
one that Pamela Lee and her husband sent in. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, Dick Clark's throwing a clipboard at me. I don't know. They put together a montage. One thing that's very funny about the show is the music videos they put together, and they once did a very hilarious one of babies vomiting to the 1812 Overture, which is actually a lot more. I guess you've seen it. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Sometimes we get sent in clips that just can't air, of course.
Yeah.
But
Like what?
well, you know, a lot of times people send things in that just aren't appropriate for a family show. It is you know, 8 o'clock show on Saturdays. Well, I'm glad you asked, Marie, because actually I brought along a clip of something. No,
You're going to play?
if I could.
This is something you couldn't play on the show, but you're going to play here.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's network
Says
prime.
a lot about us.
Yeah, it does. It really
Exactly, and it's going downhill. No, you know, the network gets really sensitive, and they think, oh, that might offend someone, we can't show that.
Right.
We had one clip that was kind of disturbing and wasn't really appropriate for family viewing, but because you guys are all about reinventing daytime TV.
You're not really, you are? You brought something?
You guys are the Wu-Tang Clan of daytime television. I mean, you guys I mean, am I right, you know? And because you guys are all about breaking barriers and being hardcore,
that's right.
I brought along a clip that they would not let us show. It was too hot for prime time. But your producers, I don't know if you've seen it or not.
This would be great.
Can I set it up?
Yeah,
just really quick.
please.
If you have any like children at home watching, I'm not sure where to look, but I'll just tell you guys, folks out there, if you have any children watching, and you might want to ask them to leave the room right now because this is not really appropriate family viewing. It's a bit intense, but I hope you all like it. They wouldn't let it air in prime time. It's kind of disturbing. Take a look.
So bad, I'm sorry.
Okay, now let's.
Okay.
Yeah. That is scary. Pretty heavy stuff. Those sequins were known to cause seizures in some viewers watching.
Yes.
So
Uh-huh.
you know,
Yes.
be careful. I do want to stress one thing though, as far as the whole violence goes. I mean, the show. One thing I like about the show is if anybody was hurt or if any animals were hurt, they won't air it, and I appreciate
That's
that very
good.
much.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
That's
If
great.
I. If, yeah. So.
And you know, it's such a great show. And America's Funniest Home Videos is on Saturday, 8 o'clock on ABC, right?
Yep.
Be sure to watch. John Fugelsang, thank you very
Thanks
much
for having me,
joining
Donny.
us.
Thank you so
I'll
much.
give Daisy a big wet kiss for you. Thank you
Please
very
do.
much.
We'll be right back right after this.
Window.
Oh, of course. For you too, Marie.
Brad Whitford, star of the new ABC series The Secret Lives of Men, talks about being naked. And later in the show, a man who loves to make you scream, horror film legend Clive Barker. Stay with us.
That's right.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Our next guest can be seen on the new ABC sitcom The Secret Lives of Men. Take a look at this.
Well, I don't have a computer to show you what he did, but I think I can give you an idea.
Will you please welcome Brad Whitford? What's your spray?
The spray is cleared up.
Oh, good.
Thank
Okay.
God. Yes, I'm struggling with hair loss.
Are you?
On the show. Yeah, in
Great
fact.
show.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm struggling with hair loss on the show.
And we had Peter Gallagher here.
Yes, Peter was here and did a big musical number. I understand. I missed it because of the whole Monica thing. But Pete had a wonderful time. He's loves you guys.
Oh,
Yeah,
he
it
was
was a
terrific.
fun segment.
And we're excited that you're here. It sounds like a really fun show.
It is a fun show. It's just a funny look at three guys who never expected to be at the dating stage again. And they're very funny actors.
Yeah.
Peter Gallagher and Mitch Rouse is also hilarious.
Now, you've done a lot of theater work, as we have. And do you remember that first big stage performance?
Yes, it was terrifying. It was a play called The Curse of the Starving Class in New York City. Sam Shepard play, very legitimate play, with Kathy Bates. And it was a terrific role, but in this role, I had to, at one point, the kid has a very difficult emotional time, exits and then enters stark naked.
And you did that?
I did that. For 9 months, I did that.
And what was that like?
Well, it's...
Cold?
It was cold. I used to complain about the heat in the theater because I was dripping wet, and the theater was cold, and when you're naked, it's important.
Sure.
That it be warm.
Let me think about that.
Think about it.
Yeah.
And I had to cross the stage and pick up a lamb, a live lamb that we called Merrill's sheep. Yeah, so that was my first sort of terrifying.
Now, you also have some interesting art in your backyard.
I do. I have a piece of art. I was in a movie called Billy Madison a long time ago.
Right.
And he was a very arrogant character, so he had a statue, the statue of David, the naked guy, and they did a plaster cast of my face. So when the movie ended, they sent this thing to me, so I put it in the backyard.
Your head on David's body?
My head on David's body.
Obviously, David is naked. I see a theme going on here.
There's a lot of nudity.
Do your neighbors like this?
Well, my neighbors called and said, "Wow, we love that statue. It's really beautiful." And I said, "It's a joke." You know, they thought that this arrogant actor had commissioned a naked statue of himself.
Is it anatomically correct? I shouldn't ask that. I'm sorry, but
it is far from anatomically correct.
Because I'm thinking they're making a joke about it, you know?
Depending on my mood,
Should we just leave them alone? Now, you also are a huge animal lover, right?
Yes, I am, and this sort of... my
you...
wife and I save stray animals, and...
Oh, that's
I
great.
heard that. I thought that
That's
was really
wonderful.
nice.
Yes.
Are you attached to them?
Yes, we're very attached to them. In fact, it's very important that everybody fix their dogs. And I always tell people to fix their dogs. I think it's very important. My dog, I was a little nervous about fixing.
Why?
Just from a guy's point of view. You know, the vet said if you fix him, he'll have less of a chance of getting testicular cancer.
Right.
And I said, well, if I chop your head off, you're not going to get a brain tumor.
It's a good point.
It is a good point. So I waited many years to fix this dog, and my wife was very attached to him, and is still attached to him, and attached to every part of him. If you know what I mean. She didn't
Yes,
want,
I know what you don't have to get graphic with it, but yes, yeah.
So finally, she was upset about this. So the day came, and I talked to the vet, and I said, can you just save this for me? So,
Excuse me.
Oh, Brad!
Excuse me? Am I hearing correctly?
You are hearing correctly. So on
You saved them?
I saved them, but for a romantic reason. Yes, both.
Where do you keep them?
Well, what I did was...
What is that question?
Well, no, because you got a pair of shoes, you put them in the closet. You got a pair of socks, you got a drawer. You got a pair, what do you do with a pair of those? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What do you do?
Well, right now they're on a shelf. I mean, the whole reason I did this was so that I could have the moment. It was one of her big birthdays was coming up. And I gave her all these sort of false great presents.
Your wife?
Yes. And I said, I am now going to give you the most precious thing that I could give you. And she thought it would be a ring or something.
Drum roll.
Thank you.
That's sick.
It is.
Now,
I'm not proud of it. But the dog was fixed, and the dog is fine now.
That's good.
So let me change the subject.
Please.
I must say your show has a really unique concept. I think it's darling. Do men really have secret lives? The whole idea of it is really interesting.
Yeah, I think that men, my character is a sort of extreme version of this. I think my guy thought it was going to be a sort of Sinatra kind of world, and all of a sudden his wife walked out on him, and it's a very different world now. The roles are different, and I think men are a little confused.
What do you mean Sinatra kind of world?
Well, he thought it would, you know, where guys were guys and women, you know, put on nylons and handed you drinks and stuff like that, or took off nylons.
Yeah.
But
depending upon the situation.
depending, but I think it's a weird time for men. You know, my great-grandfather cleared land and raised cattle, and I wear makeup. Do you know what I mean? It's a different world.
It is quite different wearing makeup, unless you wear makeup as you're farming.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That would be a whole different problem.
Well, Brad, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
And good luck with the show.
You really are fun. Good luck.
Thank you.
Secret Lives of Men. And we'll be right back right after this.
We'll meet the man who created this monster right after this.
You know, horror movie fans all around the world know our next guest as a guy who loves to shock you with films like Hellbound, Hellraiser. But what you may not know is that he's written books that make you smile.
That's right.
Will you please welcome Clive Barker? Welcome to the show.
It's great to have you. I have to ask you, how did you come up with, you know, the Pinhead character?
Oh, the famous Pinhead.
Yeah, that's a dream. I keep a dream journal, and I've always kept a dream journal.
Oh, there it is.
Where do we go? Oh, yeah, there's the boy. Yeah, a little
You
charmer.
dreamt about him?
Yeah, I keep a dream journal. I think a lot of artists do this, and it's a way of tracking what's going on in your subconscious. So he appeared in a dream in all his glory, and I put him in a movie. You know, made a star of him.
Your subconscious.
Yeah, I think that what artists are doing, filmmakers, writers, painters, is taking things which are the rest of us kind of repress and letting them out into the world. And I think it's a very healthy, actually therapeutic process. I'm very, I think it's a way of being very honest about what's going on inside you.
Therapeutic for you, scary for
for
me.
the
Well,
world,
you know, scary can be therapeutic too. I think there's something, you watch a bunch of people coming out of a horror movie or out of a fun ride or whatever, and see how many people are smiling. There's something actually very cathartic. You just get this thing out of you. We're dealing with things which scare us, and in a safe environment when we're watching a horror movie. We know we're not going to be really harmed by the movie or harmed by the ride. We're going to walk away from the thing alive.
So when you make a movie, you're not after the slasher kind of films, right? That's not the kind of stuff
I make kind of supernatural movies rather than slasher movies. But I will do whatever it takes to scare somebody. You know, it's my job.
Yes.
One of my jobs.
Right.
Now, you've done so many different kinds of things. You've done horror films, children's books.
Children's books. I like writing for children. Again, you know, there's a little child in everybody that doesn't get to speak. And when I write for children, I get to use that voice.
That's really intriguing to me, that you can make a horror film,
right,
and then you can separate in your mind and make a children's book.
And then your new book is about, it's a romance.
It's a romance.
How do you separate the different genres in your mind?
Well, I think our imaginations are a continuum. I think the divisions, honestly, Donny, are artificial. I think when you're dreaming, you don't divide up the dreams of childhood and the dreams that might scare you, or the dreams of your professional life, or, you know, all the nightmarish things that come to everybody at some point. We don't make those divisions. Our imaginations flow. And I think that what we do in our culture is we say, okay, here's a time we have to be serious, and now here's the time we have to be we can be childish, and here's the time we can be sexy, and here's the time we can't be sexy. I don't think that's the way our minds work. I think actually sometimes, perversely, we can actually have things arise in our heads which are wholly inappropriate. You know, you're sitting in church and a sexy thought comes into your head. What's that doing there? Well, it's there because your subconscious wants it to be there, and you have no control over it.
Don't you have control, or should you have control over those
No, I
thoughts?
don't think you should have control. I think we control our imaginations way too much. And you know what? Other people control them for us. Big corporations control them for us. They give us things to dream about instead of making space for us to dream for ourselves. You know, we're actually working for a large corporation that does that right now. So we have to be kind of careful. But there are, you know, this city is the prime source of
controlling the way people think.
Controlling the way people imagine. And how about just imagining what you want to imagine?
Right.
Now you're an accomplished artist.
Thank you.
Did you?
Painter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you just? Were you just born with all of this desire and these talents?
You got it right first time. I was born with a desire. I think the desire is the first principle. You start from the desire to tell people stories, to put images in people's heads. There's a painting.
We actually have
somewhere.
a painting.
That's what I want to show
Glenn,
everybody.
can we show that painting?
As a matter of fact, it looks really good on that wall. Can we have it? No.
No.
Isn't that
It looks great on the wall.
It does.
Thank you. It's
You
actually,
sure we can't have it?
Yeah, absolutely certain.
What were you thinking when
What
you
are you
painted?
trying to say to me?
This is the heroine. No. This is the heroine of a kid's book I'm writing, and her name is Candy Quackenbush, and there's 400 paintings in the book, so there's a lot of stories and a lot of paintings.
And obviously the cat is watching one of your movies, right?
No. Here's where I do make the distinction. I don't make horror movies for kids. And I really make that distinction. The Hellraiser movies, the Candyman movies, these are not for kids. And I'm very plain about that. I think I was brought up in England in the 50s. We could not see horror movies. I am not the worse for not being able to see horror movies when I was 6. Actually, what I did was read books. And my passion is to put books into kids' hands, not to give them videos.
Oh, that's smart.
Now,
That's smart.
what projects are you currently working on?
Well, Galilee just came out.
Right.
The paintings, I'm halfway through the 400 paintings for the book.
So you're halfway through
yeah,
that?
ish. So another 2 years on that. And over at Universal, I've created a kind of horror maze for Halloween, which is my baby right now.
What's it called?
It's called Clive Barker's Freaks.
Oh, okay.
And this is not for kids. I want to stress that. This is not for kids. This is...
Donnie, you can't go.
Donnie, you can't go. What can I tell you? Actually, you could be the surprise at the very end.
Okay, well, that's scary.
They're really scary.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Clive Barker, everyone. Thank you very much for being with us. Good luck with the book. Halloween is right around the corner, and the best part about Halloween are kids.
That's
our
right.
children.
So we asked some kids to come down here from the audience.
Hi, guys.
Guys, what is the scariest bug that you can think of for Halloween?
What?
Shout it out, all of you.
Tarantula.
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 Cockroach.
What else?
Termite.
Termite. Ooh.
What about you?
A spider.
Guess what?
Tarantula. There's spiders.
Guess what?
Little Richard's got a spider song. You want to sing it for him?
Can you all boogie down?
Spider.
Itsy bitsy spider.
Do you like that song?
Y'all gonna do it with me? You gonna do it, Matthew? Y'all gonna do it? If you don't, I'm gonna tell each one of y'all to shut up. I mean it. That's what I mean it, boy. You better get it. You better get it, boy. And I'm this big black one over here. You know you better get it. You're a big black one. I'm gonna tell you. I don't mean it wrong by saying you're a big black one, but you are. So we gonna get it. We got it gone. Can we do it?
Hey, you go for it.
The itsy bitsy spider went up the water's fire. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. The itsy bitsy spider went up the water's fire. Do the hand. The itsy bitsy spider. Sing it out. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. And the itsy bitsy spider went up the water's fire. One more, come on, everybody. Itsy bitsy spider went up the water's fire. itsy bitsy spider. Now, come on, say itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and give it to him.
We want to thank all of our guests today, Clyde Barker, Brad Whitford, John Fugelsang, and of course, Little Richard.
That's right.
By the way, Little Richard's going to be performing October 24th in Joliet, Illinois, October 25th at Mystic Lake Casino in Minnesota, October 31st at the Foxwood Resort Casino in Connecticut.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for watching.
We'll see you next time.
Take it, Little Richard.
Promotional consideration provided by